Gross. It's not that kind of show.
And
Don't
I'm
cross
going
the
to start with
streams.
me, just so we've got some unity there. Looks like we're good. I got the audio going, so I think we are live. All right, going to minimize that. Here we go. Welcome to episode 32.2, our Letters from Beyond mailbag Q&A mini episode, where we'll be reading listener questions and trying our best to provide deep, meaningful answers.
So deep.
Oh, you're being serious.
We'll also be asking each other questions just to keep things lively. Before we begin, I would like to thank everyone who took the time to send us their queries on Twitter and Facebook. We are also on Reddit and Google+, but if you'd like to reach us direct, feel free to send email to podcast@thelovecrafttapes.com. Now,
You're welcome.
let's dig into the letters.
Gross.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take focus off me so we can go back and forth. All right, first up, we just got a tweet from Hank O'Lantern at Unscreenable Nam, which I think is supposed to be Unscreenable Name. He asks...
It's Nam, as in Vietnam.
Yeah.
He asks...
Back in Nam.
Will you guys go out with me? Check yes or no.
Yes.
I'd like to check both boxes at the same time, please.
What's a box?
Something that I'm told I should think out of.
Oh.
And yeah, we'd all love to go out with you.
Yeah.
We'd see a movie or something. That'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're buying.
Those
Yeah,
guys
you
are all
gotta
single,
pay.
but I'm actually married, so it can't go beyond first base.
To a girl, though.
Just about,
Yeah.
just
Loser.
on top of the
Girls
clothes
have
stuff.
cooties.
Top of the clothes is okay. I gotta pass for that.
Just do it in the ear. God can't see you if you do it in the ear.
He can hear you though.
What?
It's his favorite thing to listen to.
All right, let's move on. The next question comes from Benjamin Davis on Facebook. He asks, where did the sponsor idea at the beginning of the podcasts originate? So, Brian and Matt, do you quite recall how we arrived on that?
I think we were making fun of it because we just thought it'd be like 5 people listening to us ever.
Yeah.
And
We
we
were
did
like,
it
well,
really for ourselves, I think, so we
Yeah.
could entertain ourselves and making up funny stuff.
Yeah, I think it was part of the joke being that successful podcasts have sponsors. And since we didn't think we'd ever get any sponsors, we just make up our own and hope nobody noticed.
They got a little crazy after a while.
Yeah, after a while, we just kind of started going for all the crazy stuff.
They couldn't account for their success until I came along.
That's true.
That's true.
We still can't count, but or have success.
Nobody likes accounting. Yeah, and honestly, it was an opportunity for me to sort of practice writing, so and try to be funny about it, which I'm typically not in my writing. I usually go straight for the jugular horror type stuff. So it was an interesting experiment that I think has lived on, and these guys have helped me flesh out the rest of it. So it's been great.
I enjoy those. I need something for the podcast tomorrow. Hurry up, kind of moments
Yeah,
where
I'm gonna
just
put it
have
up in
on
about
the
20
fly.
minutes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's when I have the most fun when I make the commercials that I do. Is when I'm like, you're like, I need something today for something tomorrow, and I'm like, shit. I think that's honestly the most fun is when you have to kind of come up with it on the spur of the moment.
Yeah, Matt and I have come up with a couple ideas like, hey, let's get breakfast so we can put something together.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it.
I don't get
for
invited to those breakfasts.
No.
You're
This is
excluded.
creative breakfast.
All right, let's move on. So we got a message on Twitter from Mike at Filthy Coasty, a new follower as of, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Yay.
He says, hey, loving the podcast. I'm on episode 29 and I had a question. Where did you get the name Phyllis Gagney? I ask because that's also my last name and I've never once heard it in any media in 36 years. So it was pretty wild to hear a character on your podcast with it. Just curious because it makes me smile when I hear it. Keep up the great work. And this was a rather simple question to answer because I didn't come up with it. It was already in the prepared scenario that I had selected for these guys. And Phyllis Gagney was simply a character written in that scenario.
Unoriginal content.
Yeah, well.
Which scenario was it in?
Well, this was she was the realtor, if you recall.
This was
So chapter 4.
Last chapter, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so typically if I'm using a prepared scenario, then I will simply keep what's there for the most part, and then sort of use my time to inject other interesting things, which we'll touch on here in just a minute. Another question sort of asked a similar theme. So Maggie Powell on Facebook just asked tonight, how long did your group play together before you all decided to start recording? Do you all play any other dice-based RPGs?
Why'd you spell it?
I don't think any of us played together before we started doing this.
I don't think so either. This was our first romp as a group.
Yeah, because we wanted to do something like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Brian and I, as I responded to Maggie, Brian and I did play back in the day, and I think we talked about this in one of the early episodes. Mm-hmm. We played D&D for quite a while, I think. And then
when I was little.
Yeah, it was many years ago. We're talking like at least
6 years ago.
And then we did play a little bit of Call of Cthulhu, but I think we only did a few adventures, maybe even just one. I don't quite recall, but that was like almost 20 years ago. So it's been
6 years.
6 years ago. And then obviously I met these folks, Gabe and Maddie and George, of course, through Brian, and we sort of did this. Now, I do not have time to play any other RPGs, unfortunately. I do play some video games and board games because they're quick and easy to go, and I can get in and out quick. But these guys have just started playing D&D again.
Yep.
We just started a campaign. We're actually only one session in, but all our character development, everything's set, and we're well on our way to our first mission. So it's fun.
And do you know what version are you playing of D&D? Is it
5e? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I also, apart from the group, play a lot of D&D and Pathfinder, and looking at starting a Pokemon role-playing game.
Holy crap! I know nothing about Pokemon, so
I want to be.
Say,
I don't either.
I choose you, Pikachu, and you got it.
Is that it?
I don't know anything really about Pokemon, but I got a text at 3 a.m. that was like, "Hey, you want to do a Pokemon role-playing game?" And I was like, "Okay."
I think it was a booty call.
It was a booty call.
So
he put on his Pokemon outfit.
Maybe you misread it. It just said Pokemon.
Todd, if you're listening, confirm that this is a booty call or not.
All right. So the final question I had was from Pat Nebel at Roguiest Rogue on Twitter. And this is a pretty lengthy one, and mostly for me. She asks, when you are writing your adventures, how much do you borrow ideas, imagery, etc. from the various horror movies, books you watch and read? Can you give me an example of a specific scene or villain and what you watched or read that inspired it? Now, I do have a specific example here, but if you guys can think of anything that I have introduced in the stories that made you think of, a John Carpenter film or a story, something like that. But I'll jump
something else. Yeah.
I'll jump into my example here. So yes, I do borrow. I wouldn't say heavily, but it's almost an unconscious thing. I will just grab a certain pop culture element. For instance, I did John Cleese in the Contented Cow episode, but that wasn't really a horror film. But other than that, I do borrow quite a bit. Maybe some of it just for vibe and flavor. I know Brian and I did reference the John Carpenter film. What was it? It was the Alice Cooper. Darkness. Oh shit! Now I can't think of it. Anyway, Prince of Darkness. Thank you.
Prince of Darkness.
So we specifically mentioned that, but some of it is absolutely intentional. And for instance, in episode number 9, Dark Angelus, the investigators start off the scenario by meeting with Alfred Hitchcock at the studio. And in the lobby, they encounter a young mother with the last name of Jones and her baby, Jupiter. Jupiter is one of the Jupiter Jones is one of the three investigators, a series of young adult books published from 1964 to 1987, where three boys in California solve mysteries and report to Alfred Hitchcock. If you haven't listened to the first 16 episodes of the podcast, here comes some spoilers. My use of this in-joke was also a kind of clue to the players that they were in a fictional universe, which Charles finds out the hard way in episode 17.
Hashtag spoiled.
So that was sort of like an oblique in-joke, but I thought it would be fun because the timeline was right. That, Thomas, you remember that too. Thomas is on chat. And I read that series back in, it would have been 1978.
64.
Yeah, I know I wasn't alive then. But in 78, in middle school, I read that series. And then a friend of ours collected them, and I reread them about 5 years ago. And they are just as great as always. So if you haven't picked up the three investigators, seek them out. They're a little hard to find. But they're on eBay from time to time as well, and they're just fun. They're almost like Scooby-Doo and Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys kind of thing, but with
you recommend
a more of a supernatural flavor. So plus the Alfred Hitchcock component is a lot of fun. So okay, that's all I've got as far as questions from other folks.
A lot of people don't know this, but Jack Whiteside is actually based on a fusion of Short Round and the parents from Footloose.
Or not.
I'm pretty sure he's exactly right.
Before I invented this character, I did a lot of research into Louisiana and the Whiteside
you did
family.
the wrong research.
Oh,
Went
it's
down to
true.
the grocery store and bought some Angus sausage. That's about it.
There is a Whiteside family that did dabble in voodoo in Louisiana.
All right, well, why don't we jump into any questions that you guys might have? Why don't we start off with Gaby?
Oh, okay. I got one for everybody. What if pumpkins could fly?
Well, Judas. We probably have a hard time controlling the crops. So all the seeds that they poop out.
Oh, wait, no, there'd be way less pumpkin beer, which would be a great thing.
Yes, that's true, too. Yeah, they'd be harder to catch, but more fun to carve open.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Squirming, trying to get away.
Matt, you got a question for us?
Yeah. This is for all of you. 100 duck-sized Cthulhus or one Cthulhu-sized duck?
Well,
oh
my God.
If they were duck-sized Cthulhus, then that's true. Pumpkin bread. Then that would be a whole lot of duck tacos. And actually be calamari plus duck tacos, so that'd be great.
But can you kill Cthulhu?
Yes, of course.
Okay, because we can kill a really big fucking duck if it's only one.
But I think a big one would be hard to kill.
Well, yeah, hard, but not as hard as
little
trying to
ones
kill
would be
Cthulhu.
you just stomp on them. So, all right, Brian, you got a question for us?
I have a question for you.
Okay, shoot.
I noticed a pattern a little while back.
It's my boldness.
I don't know if a lot of people know, but you have your own brewing. You brew. You have a brew company.
Yep, I'm drinking Call of Cthulhu right now.
Yeah. You decided to do an entire line based on Cthulhu.
Yes, this year.
Do a quick cover of what you named those beers in that line.
Oh, boy.
That's not a question, sir. That's a statement.
Will you?
Will you? No, I brewed, pretty much anything you can think of. And what I did is I set out to brew 12 beers, one each month, based on a Lovecraft story. And then I'm going to probably end up with about 11 because just things didn't work out so great. But I almost hit my goal. Evidently, I'm drinking Call of Cthulhu right now. So it's a double IPA, Pilsner-based, very weird, kind of interesting beer. But it turned out lovely. On tap, I have From Beyond, which is just a galaxy hopped, which is the From Beyond galaxy, right? But I just used a bunch of different specialty malts, so it's a weird kind of IPA that's quite lovely. And also, I have Cool Air on tap, which is a chocolate peanut butter peppermint Belgian Wit beer.
That's the one we sampled.
It's a really fucking weird beer. That's all I can
good.
tell you. My wife hates it. I actually love it because it's stranger than anything I've ever brewed, most likely. Beyond that, I did. I could probably bring up the whole website because it's just boomstickbrew.com. And so if I go, I did the Unnameable, which was an apricot Bretta Ale. The Thing on the Doorstep was the Maple Bourbon IPA. The Haunter in the Dark was a pepper-based stout. The Festival was the Oktoberfest I gave to all you guys a couple weeks ago, which I didn't really care for, but it was fun.
I thought it was great.
Yeah. And then that's pretty much it. I do have a couple more in the pike. I'm doing Pickman's Model next weekend, which is going to be an English, what do you call it? Like a penny beer kind of thing. I forget what they call it, but it's just a nice English bitter, an English bitter. So that should be a lot of fun. And then I think the one that I just brewed, shoot, I can't even think of it. Oh, I can't think of it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it'll be great though. It'll be awesome. Actually, it's sitting right here. I got my clipboard. It's At the Mountains of Madness.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is it's a brown, a pecan brown. So
That's not a pecan, Sandy.
Lovecraft story I ever read.
At Mountains of Madness.
Pecan brown.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And that actually leads. We have a couple minutes left, so I'm going to launch into a couple of questions for you guys. And the first one is obviously, what is your favorite Lovecraft story?
Dunwich Horror.
That's a great one.
Oh God.
Mine is probably. I think mine.
Had a heart attack.
I think mine is the
story.
Is the Outsider. I quite like that one. It's just really creepy and lonely. And
I'll go with the. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the reveal is quite the twist. So I like that.
What a twist!
I'll go with the Rats in the Walls.
That's one of my least favorites. I don't really like.
Wow.
That. Or that and Dreams of the Witch House. Those are two that just don't hit it for me.
Well, I hate The Outsider, so it's terrible.
Fair enough.
I hate everything you love.
Brian, any of yours?
In the Mouth of Madness.
That's not.
Was my favorite movie. Oh,
that's fine.
What?
That's fine. It's a movie. All right. So back to the game. What has been the scariest moment for you as a player? Ooh. We'll start with Brian.
It was early on. It was driving down away from St. James House. I don't want to ruin anything. Spoilers if you haven't listened to the first 30 episodes. Yeah. And seeing my first flying gaunt. The night gaunt that was attacking me and hitting the gaunt with the car and then going off a cliff. I didn't. And then he just cut away and still, okay, we're going to go over to the other guy. No, I need to know what the fuck happened.
Nice.
That got me. That was scary.
Cool. Gabe?
You just to start, you might just want to put a big spoiler warning at the beginning of this when you release it.
Fuck it.
But I haven't necessarily been scared yet, but the one that's gotten my adrenaline and heart racing probably was the first ever combat we had when we were trying to destroy the book and with the dynamite and the well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that got pretty tense for sure.
That was a good one.
And Matt, how about you?
I'd probably have to say end of episode 17, Maria, in the barn with the green goo monster that was left of the, what was this, Steve? Or it started with an S, I think.
Oh,
I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The guy, Stan Brophy.
Yeah, Stan. Yeah. When I could tell that both Brian and George weren't doing well and they were about to go down, and I was just stuck sitting there because of the roll that I had made. You're like, no, you're blind and you're deaf, and you're just kind of sitting there, and I'm like, because I wanted to help and I wanted to do something, but I couldn't move, and I couldn't do anything, and it was like,
yeah, that's the one I thought you guys were all just gonna buy it.
Yeah,
I thought that was gonna be the end of it.
We've been pretty damn lucky in all of our scenarios.
Yeah.
Well,
At the last minute, lucky a lot of it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, just a couple more questions. What's your favorite recurring joke, Brian?
Taco fish, I think is mine. I love it.
Taco fish is a good one.
Yep, you rip that fish right open, stuff the taco seasonings inside, bake it 350.
I missed the pissing distance joke.
Oh,
that
I
was,
do
that
too,
was
actually.
a fun one.
I do too.
Yeah.
Gabe, anything?
I mean, anything that has to do with screen doors. I mean,
Screen
not
doors.
jokes, but I mean, it's kind of my life, my livelihood.
Yeah, Thomas Douglas is on chat, and he says, I'm trying to think of a horror movie in which screen doors play a pivotal part.
The screen door inning?
All of them.
Yeah, I can't think of any either, actually. All right, and then let's see. Okay, personal one. What's the worst nightmare you've ever had,
Oh, Jesus.
Brian?
I had a reoccurring nightmare for several years. You know this one, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And I finally found out where it came from, but I'm going to just quickly go over it. I am pulled out of my bed by very large mice that are talking to me, saying, "You've got to hurry. You're the only one that can do it." And they pull me into this room, which should be my hallway to my house, but it's a huge clock inside of a huge clock. And the clock is stopping and running down, and the springs are falling, the gears are falling from the... And if the time stops completely, the entire universe ends. And these huge mice with deep black beady eyes are just begging me and pulling me and clawing at me to fix time. And I woke up in terrible sweats. At least 10 to 12 times I've had that nightmare.
Jeez, a night.
So, and I got it from Secret of Nymph.
Yeah, of course.
When I was little, I must have watched that damn movie and it fucked me up.
That's true.
Secret of Nim is such a great movie.
Yeah, it was.
He's
Love
right.
it.
It's got kind of an edge to it. All right, let's
Love
move
it.
along. Gabe, how
John
about you, buddy?
Bluth for you.
Mine also comes from like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was little, like very little, I don't know when this movie came out, so I can't add an age, but like I watched Scary Movie 4, and that was the first time I'd ever seen Jigsaw, and that just messed me up. And like for weeks, I had dreams about Jigsaw just like toddling into my room, being like, "What's up?"
Oh Jesus, that's creepy as shit. Hey, Brian, put on your list to make sure to let Gabe watch Deep Red at some point.
Oh,
Well, I mean, I'm not scared of it anymore.
well, you will
Red.
be.
It's sort of the genesis of the
Yeah.
Jigsaw little dummy character. Matt, how about you?
I'd have to say, I don't know if you could call it a nightmare, I guess, but it's more of I used to deal with, like, when I was a lot younger, I dealt with like sleep paralysis a lot.
Oof.
Well, I don't know if you don't know what that is. It's when you go into REM sleep, when you're about to start dreaming, your brain actually produces a chemical that totally paralyzes your body so that you can't act out what's happening in your dreams. However, if you happen to wake up after you know you can't move, it doesn't go away right away when you wake up. So you're stuck there and you cannot physically move. And why that happens, I remember one of the times I woke up and I couldn't move, and it was the most realistic thing ever. I swear I saw some like big black shadow at the end of my bed, throw the covers off of my bed, yank my feet, and just start running with me out of a room. And I swear to God, it felt like I was being dragged. And I couldn't move, and I couldn't scream or anything, and it was absolutely fucking terrifying.
Wow. That's creepy as shit. Well, in the interest of time, I will not go over mine. But plus it's way too personal. Okay, last question, guys. Brian.
Yes.
How will you feel when your character dies in a horrible way?
Okay. This is going to be interesting for everybody, I think, to hear. I won't feel so bad for Jack Whiteside.
Yeah, he's a dick.
But I feel really bad about my other character. I feel like I've abandoned her. I feel like all of that emotion and that time that I put into her, that maybe I shouldn't have moved on.
Right. And that was your choice?
That was my choice, and I'm glad I made that choice. It's allowing me to do different things than I normally would, but
you've got survivor's guilt.
I miss her. She's a good character.
All right, Gabe, how about when Roy goes?
So Roy
In this
is
episode.
Roy is actually kind of just how I am as a person. Like, I know that's not good, but I have to tone myself down a lot in real life when I'm around other people. So I really enjoy when I get to come here and just be how I really want to be. That being said, I'm probably not going to take it very well. Like, I'm probably going to make some, like, throwback Lovecraft Tales just to try and relive the times.
All right, Matt, you spent considerable time with Dan.
Yes.
In one form or another.
I know. I'm actually probably going to be sad when he goes, because again, it's something that I've put a lot of work into, and you put a lot of emotion into the character that you play, and to see them go in some way that is probably going to be both horrifying and simultaneously hilarious in some way or another. It's going to be kind of sad to have to start over with someone new.
Yeah.
My original goal was to do everything I could to keep him alive for at least 1 year, and we're just about at the end of that. So,
So you're going to die in this episode.
It hasn't technically been fully a year yet, but that was my goal.
You said for a year, so we got to get rid of him quick.
Right.
So you don't meet your goal.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Q&A Letters from Beyond Mailbag. Again, please feel free to submit any questions whenever you like, and we'll do a future episode with more answers for you. So have a good evening, and thanks for listening.
Thank you. Good night.
All right. So let's move on to our main event.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. And we'll jump straight into it. Welcome to episode 40 of the Lovecraft Tapes podcast. I am Jeremy, your keeper of arcane lore. And we are playing Chaosium 7th edition Call of Cthulhu horror role-playing game based upon the fictional works of H.P. Lovecraft. In the house!
Hey-o! Hey-o! Raise the roof!
Your investigators of the unknown are Gabe as Roy Arroyo.
This prison's inhumane. They got bars instead of screen doors.
Brian as Jack Whiteside.
I wonder if that body's still tender enough to cook up.
And Matt as Dan Williams.
I never noticed how nice of a front porch this is. Coat of paint, couple of bricks, a nice hammock. I could deal with this.
Bricks of heroin, maybe.
Oh, you know it.
All right, what are we drinking tonight, guys?
Sparkling water.
Gross.
I'm drinking de-sparklified sparkling water.
I'm abstaining from liquid for the next few years.
Well,
Saliva only.
Boomstick Brews. Call of Cthulhu.
So how many episodes and subscribers before we get our own Call of Cthulhu Lovecraft Tapes based character themed beers?
Ooh, I could do Roy Arroyo's
Samantha,
Shirley Temple.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We need to come up with a screen door themed beer.
Fun fact. There's a movie that I just looked up. It's called Screen Door Jesus.
Oh my god.
Oh, there we go. We have the name of Roy's beer. Screen Door Jesus.
I like that. We already had Scary Rockstar Jesus, right? From Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Quick, Gabe, see if that gamer tag is available on Xbox Live.
Screen Door Jesus.
Google domains. All right, let's get to some letters from beyond, because we haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
We did get an email from one James Rowland, who shared a really cool story with me about meeting and having dinner with Sandy Peterson. Do you know who Sandy Peterson is? No? Nobody?
Me no know me, huh?
Gabe looks like he might know. No? Nobody? Okay. He is the creator of Call of Cthulhu RPG.
Oh.
What's Call of Cthulhu?
I have no idea. I asked him the same thing, and then I just blocked him. But he told me a really cool story. He met and had dinner with Sandy Peterson. Plus, he also shared photos of Sandy Peterson at his house, which was really cool.
Did he tell Sandy Peterson about us?
I wish he would have. But if you don't know, not only did Sandy Peterson create the Call of Cthulhu RPG at Chaosium, but he also created levels for the original Doom, Doom 2, and Quake.
Oh, that's why Quake was so good.
If you remember, Quake had some very Lovecraftian levels,
Yes.
especially towards the end. Those gigantic, weird polygon monsters. He did those, and I believe he may have had a hand in some of the bonus levels that you could download later. I remember playing those way back when. So really fucking cool, James. That's quite
awesome.
quite the experience to meet a legend like that. So
You have made Jeremy very jealous.
I actually I would love to meet that dude. On Reddit, we got a note from How We Roll podcast regarding episode 32. They said,
Oh God, what did you ruin this time, Roy?
which is just the last one. They said, "Oh, I love this scenario. We've been hoping to play it too. I'll give it a listen." So they're very familiar with the scenario that you're playing right now, which is a published scenario, and obviously we do some monkeying around with it. So that's the next comment on Reddit from Scott Dorward, also regarding episode 32. "I'm thoroughly enjoying the way you're hacking the scenario around and making it your own. Really looking forward to the next episode." So thank you, Scott.
Nice,
Appreciate
thank
that.
you.
And finally, on Twitter, we'd like to welcome some new followers at Scott Wade FM, at Cooking with HPL, at Filthy Coasty, which we mentioned in episode 32.2, and at Loki Hard Drive. So welcome. Appreciate you following us on Twitter, and hopefully we'll keep you entertained and scared shitless. Finally, before we start, we do need to take a quick commercial break.
Are we back
And
yet?
we're back.
Hey, guys, is it just me, or is it starting to sound like all of our sponsored commercials are voiced by like the same few people?
His voice is really annoying.
Yeah, I'd have
I
to
think
agree.
It's music
It is
to my
strange. It's
ears,
just weird,
and I will
like-
buy anything he's selling.
I don't think it is, though, because one time it'll be really high and fast, and the next time it'll be
Oh,
slow
that's
and low.
true. That's
So
true.
I don't
Yeah,
think it's the
see,
same.
that makes it different because it's a different tone.
Just the way Brian likes it, low and slow.
Low and
That's
slow,
right.
baby. Just
It's like I like my coffee.
and his brisket.
What?
Low and slow.
All right. And now we continue Chapter 5, Hell House. Previously on the Lovecraft Tapes. After tracking down Mitch Landrum, who is passed out at the Dangling Bullhorn Tavern, Special Agent Roy Arroyo lets his anger get the better of him.
Who you calling special?
Who you call him better? He smashes the poor drunk's face into the bar, then pushes the unconscious man onto the floor. Understandably, Hank the barkeep dials the sheriff's office. Less understandably, Roy opens fire with his service revolver. The frightened bartender scurries away to hide. Moments later, sirens are heard approaching outside. Sighing, Roy goes out to meet his fate, in the form of Chief Weaver and Steve Ellis, who promptly throw the rabid FBI agent into the squad car and take him to jail. Meanwhile, Dan gives chase to the mysterious Eva, following up to the Angerstein attic, where he discovers boxes of old historic photos. Unfortunately, something shifts the box he attempts to retrieve, spilling broken glass onto his face. Blinking back blood, he encounters a shadowy soldier who dissipates in an instant, though not before Dan discovers another box of bloodied tools. Jack questions Bradley, an LGBTQ+ protester who's been lurking in the woods, taking photos and reeking of gasoline. Somehow, Bradley tricks Jack into looking away while he makes an escape running through the woods. Jack finds Bradley's stash of Molotov cocktails, then pours them out for his homies. He soon joins Dan back at the Angerstein house, horrified to find the private detective injured. Together, they re-enter the Hell House, but are quickly separated. Jack hears some strange knocking sound, following it to the attic entrance, where he encounters a body.
Ooh.
It is now early evening, Sunday, October 22nd. Only 2 days until Hell House opens to the public. And we're going to minimize the video.
2 more days till Halloween.
That should be good. And then we're going to go to the map. And actually, I think we'll just go to Leland, Texas.
Swiper, no swiping.
And I'll zoom out slightly here for the folks at home. How about we pan that view? There we go. Good. Okay. Ooh, that's weird. Roy.
What's up?
After the contents of your person are logged and stowed in the chief's office safe, you're unceremoniously escorted to one of the 3 empty cells located at the back of the station. The small space reeks of piss and vomit. The single bunk is stained with various bodily fluids. A broken sink drips constantly next to a shit-spattered toilet with no seat. There's a small window up high with bars wide enough to stick your arm through. Steve Ellis uncuffs you as Chief Weaver stands outside the cell with one hand on his gun. I'm sure it's just a matter of time for your assistant director springs you, but you can bet it won't be until morning. And I'm sure she won't be happy with my report. You'd best settle in for the evening. Cynthia will bring you some grub just after dark. The cell door clangs shut, and you are alone.
Tin Cupper Riot.
I'll just kind of sit down, look around, see if anything out of the ordinary is obvious.
Why don't you go ahead and give me a spot hidden then?
Oh, wow. I was going to say that.
Wow.
You ever notice that piss stain on the mattress kind of looks like Jesus?
I needed a 70. I got a 59. That's a success.
You very easily spot a dead rat lurking at the back of the toilet, sort of tucked in there.
All right, I'll take it.
Put it in my inventory.
Put it in your inventory.
I'd like to combine my dead rat with the flashlight batteries that I found.
I'll go look behind the toilet, see if there's anything that's obvious that made it die, or maybe a hole or something stupid.
Well, in picking up the rat by its tail, you can easily tell that it had starved to death.
Dumb.
Now
All right,
what is he supposed to have for dinner?
It's very desiccated.
What's like outside of the bars? Is there like the desk there?
Nope, it's basically the backside of the station is a cell block, cinder block hallway. There is a door. You're basically in the middle cell. So what you see is to the left, the hallway that eventually turns and leads to a door that you know leads back out into the station proper. And to the right, it's basically a dead end, and the cells to either end are empty. And it is cinder blocks between the 2 cells, or the 3 cells rather.
Okay, they're empty.
Yep.
All right, I guess I'll just wait for food.
Okay. All right, as you wait, Jack. The grinning corpse of a young woman leers down at you from the gaping entry to the attic. I'm going to need you to make a sanity roll, please.
No, I refuse.
It's against my religion.
I said.
He said,
Oh, boy. Ooh. I needed a 79 and I got a 60.
All right.
That's a success.
As you rear back and stumble to the ground, falling on your ass, you look up And what appeared to be a dead body is actually just a mannequin that apparently had fallen over from up top. But for just a moment, it looked like almost like your mom.
The mannequins are aliens who are secretly replacing everybody.
Damn it, Matt. You just ruined the whole mission. Can we play a different game? I vote life.
I was going to say backgammon, but we're...
All right, I'm going to back up a couple steps.
Mm-hmm.
What a wuss.
Put my head out the door. Danny, get up here. Dan. I'm going to walk back over to the stairs and look down.
All right, so let's change the map so we're know where
Looking
you're at.
down.
Boop, boop, boop. There we go. And zoom out slightly. There we go.
Stairs. Okay, so I'm going to circle around. I'm going to come out of the storeroom where the mannequin fell from the attic.
Yep.
And I'm going to go down and past the bathroom area to the top of the stairs and yell for Danny again.
Okay.
Danny, get up here.
All right, let's switch back to Dan. Dan, Kevin is no help, and there's no sign of Dawn. However, just as you're about to leave the front porch, you hear a familiar voice approaching from one of the construction tents. My laws, what in tarnation happened to you? Lauren Crawley, the attractions manager, joins you at the entrance with a grunt as she ascends the stairs. You notice she's walking with a limp.
Just doing some helping some people out. You know, Roy needed a little help in his room this morning, and some glass ended up on my face, and it wasn't pretty.
All right, let's do a little rolling here, shall we?
I can curl up into a ball and roll around, but I don't know if my webcam
Can you roll
will catch
for
it.
lying?
Yeah, that's what I'm checking, actually. So
Can I make it a fighting brawl?
It's either going to be a fast talk or
a persuade, both of which I am
Probably persuade. Yeah.
terrible in. Okay. Yeah, I have a 5 in fast talk and a 10 in persuade.
Yeah,
Good job, nerd.
So,
Let's go. Yeah, let's go. Persuade then.
ready? I'm predicting the future. This is not going to work. Huh? What do you know? I'm psychic. I needed a 10 and I rolled a 47. That's a failure.
Alrighty, let me see
Best
if
like money in my life.
I want to take a gander and see what she thinks of that. She rolled a 71.
Whoa.
So she sort of gives you a sidelong look as you're telling your story. And she gives a Well, that's just too bad. That doesn't sound very nice at all.
Oh, accidents happen.
So
Yeah.
what brings you back up here?
Well, I was looking to my hands.
Uber.
I was looking to talk to Dawn, but she seems to have disappeared on me here.
Well, Dawn, you're looking for Dawn for what?
I met her at the church service on Sunday, and we kind of started a conversation that we never really got to finish.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm sure she's in working on something inside. Why don't you come on inside and we'll see if we can find her.
That'd be lovely. Thank you.
And as you enter the house again and start up the stairs, you hear Jack's voice calling down, Dan.
Dan, come on, Dan.
And Lauren looks up the stairs and back at you with a quizzical look on her face.
Audio podcast.
Oh, right.
He's making faces, folks. Hope you enjoyed those.
Facial expressions brought to you by. I didn't know Jack was here. I guess we'll see what he wants.
All right. Well, yeah, let's go up and see what he wants. And she leads you upstairs. She takes the lead. You're following behind, and you meet. Turn around on the landing, and there is Jack standing at the top of the stairs. And Lauren's like, "Well, hello, Mr. FBI. What can I do for you? Did you find Dawn up here?"
No, I didn't. I was looking everywhere. Couldn't find her.
Well, that's odd. I thought she was up here working.
So did I. That's why I came up.
Well, I don't rightly know where she could be.
That is very bizarre. I'm going to check again up here. You guys want to check the bathroom? I'll check the in.
Why don't you come on downstairs? It's just not safe to be wandering around up here.
Whoa.
All by your
what do you
lonesome.
mean it's not safe? Wait a minute. What do you mean it's not safe?
Well,
Is this house not structurally sound?
No, it's all fine. I'm just saying, we've got a lot of boxes and stuff around here. We don't want anybody to get hurt.
Has anything happened up here?
What? What do you mean? No, of course not.
Now, you know that this could be impeding an investigation if you are not fully truthful with us. We are here.
What investigation? I thought Chief Weaver told you to clear out.
Well, Chief Weaver does not have jurisdiction here, ma'am.
I'm afraid he does, sir.
I'm afraid he does not.
Well, let me see
And
your
if
warrant
I'm
then.
telling you right now, we do not want to impede your fundraiser. But if we don't start getting straight answers, you're the third or fourth person who's brushed us off, saying there was an issue, and then all of a sudden changing the story.
I think you might need to talk to Chief Weaver.
Why don't you give him a call? Why don't you give him a call on your phone?
Why don't you come on downstairs and sit on the front porch, and I'll give him a call.
Go ahead and give him a call. On those phones that don't work.
Come on down. And she starts coming downstairs, beckoning you. And Dan's behind her, and he's sort of being physically prompted, shall we say?
That's how I do it.
You come on to my office, and we'll talk to Chief Weaver.
Oh, is your office on the front porch?
No, my office is on the ground floor. Just downstairs. Come on.
All right, I'm going to go down to her office.
Okay. Yeah. Womp, 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 womp. All right. So she leads you back to the ground floor and then out to the dining room. Sorry.
Let's get it on.
Muck that up a little bit. I was trying to do objects. Yep, there we go. Excuse me. Okay, you got you. Great.
Yeah.
And you see there is actually it's into the kitchen. Boop, boop, boop. And I don't think I've got. Do I have a token for Lauren? I've got Dawn. I've got Eva.
I don't think so.
I don't think I do have a token for Dawn actually, or what's her nuts? Lauren. Yeah, for some reason I don't have Lauren on here. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can find one real quick. PC archive. I could use Samantha. That'd be
No.
That'd be too hurtful, wouldn't it? Now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me see. Oh, I got Lauren right here actually. Let's see if I can drag her out to the. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't have her. Can you guys see that? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, sweet. So she takes you over to her office and has a key and unlocks the door. And now I'm going to reveal the area. Just for you, baby. Let's see if I can do this properly. Bink. See that okay?
Yep.
No.
Control room study.
Yeah. So you walk into what appears to be the central hub of... You got it, baby.
I'm in the closet. Oh.
Yeah, we know. Whenever you're ready.
Oops, sorry. There we go. Dragging this shit all around here. What appears to be the central hub of the whole haunted house. So it's a bunch of computer monitors that connect up to the webcams and so forth. And there's a bunch of nude wrestling in a mud puddle. So
Nice.
I prefer Jello wrestling, but it's personal
And
preference.
a nude puddle.
Yeah.
and there's a big desk and a console of screens so that she can monitor when people are going through each of the rooms. For instance, you can quickly see that Kevin is working in the parlor, for instance.
Damn it.
Yeah, right. Let me see here. I gotta get. I'm trying to grab some folks here. I don't know why I can't grab those fucking people.
Because they're busy. Fuck it.
They're busy right
never
now.
mind.
Give them a few minutes.
I got it. So you can see Kevin working in the parlor.
Oh, fucking
You
people.
can see Eva, who is the little devil girl, right? Mm-hmm. She is actually working upstairs. And Dawn Ellers is actually working out in the back porch. So you should be able to see all that on the first floor map.
Yep.
And that's what you see on the monitors within the study, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so Lauren comes in and says, why don't you all have a seat there? And there's a couple chairs.
Yep.
Sort of office chairs that look pretty ragtag, donated. And
I'm going to pick up one of the chairs and walk out of the room and say thanks.
Thanks a lot. Take a chair.
She told me I could have the seat.
Have a chair. And she proceeds to pick up the phone. There is a landline there, and make a dial. Do you guys want to do anything while she's making the call?
Mm-hmm. No.
If Roy were here, he'd probably try and shoot the phone out of her hand. But since he's in jail,
You have no proof that I'm in jail.
So Roy and Jack, do you want to do anything while she's calling?
I'm in jail.
no,
Or,
we don't
sorry,
have any proof of that.
Dan
though.
and Jack. Sorry, little ditty.
I would, ma'am, if you do reach the sheriff, I'd like to speak with him, please.
I'm on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And she
Can we
turns
Well,
see
I said it.
so we can
She
see
turns her back
the
to you.
monitors?
Yeah, you can see the monitors, of course.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to say, oh, Jack. That's a lot. There's Dawn. She went to the back porch. Mystery solved. Am I right?
No.
Oh.
That is very peculiar. Very peculiar.
I'd like to thank you for your help. I'll be going.
I'm done.
Clearly.
I'm waiting to talk to this damn police officer.
Dan, anything else?
I guess not at the moment. I can't think of anything I'd do, legally speaking.
All right. As
I
you
guess
wait
that is legal,
wordlessly,
too.
Dawn nods. You see Dawn nod her head, or Dawn, sorry. Lauren nod her head, and then she softly puts down the cradle. And she turns back to you, and she's like, "I'm sorry. The chief's out. But I would appreciate if you guys would clear out. We have a lot of work to do. Either that, or you can pitch in. Either way."
Oh, I don't mind helping. I just need to let you know something. If you're running this place, you need to know what's happening.
What's happening?
I just saw a gentleman out in your field with a whole shit ton of Molotov cocktails
What?
spying on your little house.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because for some reason, nobody here likes to answer any goddamn questions. You like to pussyfoot around, and I'm getting sick of it. We're trying to help you.
Why don't you go ahead and roll an intimidate, please?
I'm going to roll a baseball bat in her fucking head.
Oh, shit.
I needed a 60. I rolled a 44.
So Lauren crosses her arms across her chest and takes a step back and leans against the console desk. And she's like, "Well, I don't much appreciate your tone, mister, but I do appreciate you finding out who is this boy."
Shit. Not Steve. No, who was it? Brad. Well, I wouldn't know his name, though, did I?
I don't think you did. You never
I didn't know.
got a
I
chance.
did not catch his name, but I believe one of your fellow people here said it might have been Brad.
Brad?
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about Bradley?
I don't know. It says Brad
Bradley
Kohler in
Kohler?
the wiki.
Didn't you get a picture of him? Didn't you say you snapped a photo of him before he ran away, Jack?
Quid pro quo, Clarice.
Yeah, but it's just of his nice, sweet ass.
That's sometimes enough, if you know what I'm saying.
Ouch.
We need the sheriff out here so he can handle. I dumped all the Molotov cocktails out, but the gasoline and everything is still just on the edge of that field out there, and it can be dangerous.
Well,
I tried to call, but our cell phones won't work. So that's why I would like to talk to the officer.
Well, Steve did say the chief was out, but evidently he's out on a call. I will certainly pass that along. In the meantime, if you gentlemen want to help, I think your first order of business would be clear out that gasoline.
Attic?
Attic? Why do you say attic?
Oh, we just need to get a couple more things down for the haunted house, I think, don't we?
No, I think we're all set in the attic.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure we have everything down by now. All that's up there is just some old
Mannequins?
stuff that we found in the basement, or not
I was
basement.
gonna say,
That was my the keeper's mistake.
Oh.
Just what we found in these old rooms. That's nothing. All the materials.
Here's the issue: we have no way to get rid of the gasoline. That's why we need the officers, so I could speak with somebody to get a proper crew out here.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Can you just pour it in the ground?
That's not good for your trees. It's not good for your lawn. It's not good for anything.
Well,
right now, I've got it on a tarp.
Is it a lot? I mean, are we talking gallons?
More than gallons.
More than gallons. All right. Well, all right.
Tons.
Shit. All right. Well, why don't we go take a look?
All right. Sounds good.
Lead the way.
After you.
Ladies first. Oh, shit.
All right, Danny, get going.
Dan, you first.
Hey, Danny, why don't you stay here and see if you can help any of these kids get this? Maybe add a little supervision while we run out.
I have the cape and everything.
Heat vision.
Just don't get it dirty again. All right, I'm going to escort her out to the field and show her that area.
Okay.
Show her my area.
All right, great. So Jack and Lauren proceed to the edge of the property. Dan, what are you doing in the meantime?
I'm gonna head back up to the attic.
Oh shit. Okay. Why don't you go ahead and give me a stealth roll if you want to get by Eva?
Watch out for that board, Matt. You're in the room with the board. Break your nose.
Oh god. Nope. I needed a 28 and I rolled a 95.
Nice.
He's playing the drums and cymbals on his knees.
I'm wearing one of those big one-man band kits. Boy, on the harmonica.
So Dan, as you creep stealthily back up the staircase, you reach the very top, feeling very confident. Your toe catches on the very top step of the landing, and you fall flat on your face.
How many points of damage?
No points of damage, but immediately Eva peeks out the door, and she's like, "Oh!"
And then throws more glass at you.
It's you.
I think she likes you.
Yeah. It's me.
What's she doing on the floor?
Play some Marvin Gaye.
Let's get it on.
I'm waiting for you, baby. That's why I'm on the floor.
Well, just making sure. I had a friend down in the dining room, stepped on a board, went up in his face like in the old cartoons. As I'm knock on the just checking structural integrity. Knock on the floor.
With your
put
face?
my ear to it. It's I have a good set of ears. I can hear if it's stable or not. I just have to get right on the ground.
She peeks at your ears and she goes, I don't know.
Anyway, I'm gonna stand up. So I'm just gonna keep checking. I heard there might be some problems up in the attic. I was gonna go.
Who told you that?
Well, no one's directly trying to say anything, but Wayne, if you ask me, I think some people might think there's something fishy going on with that attic, and all the training I have, I feel like I'm qualified to deal with any kind of fishiness.
That sounds like a fast talk to me.
Are you flirting with her?
I'm trying, but I only have a 5 in fast talk, so this is gonna fail miserably.
They're pretty things you wear.
See
nice.
what I mean? That's a success because I rolled a 50 and I divide by 10, which makes 5. Nah.
Yeah, I think Thomas is right. There's a whole lot of BS going on here. So Eva's going to be like, yeah, I don't think so. Maybe we should check with Lauren. What do you think?
Lauren is busy right now. I was just down with her.
Let's go downstairs and ask her.
No, she's out in the woods with Special Agent Whiteside. Something about someone leaving Molotov cocktails out in the woods.
Okay. Well, let's wait downstairs for her because I don't think she'd like you creeping up here.
You're lost. Unless you want to go check out the attic with me. I hear there's some weird stuff that happens up there.
Ooh,
Sexy
that sounds like a
stuff.
persuade to me.
I'm just throwing things at the wall to see if anything sticks.
And then he's gonna try his psychology next, and then ride and swim.
Damn it!
Yeah,
Wow,
that
you
sounds
are
like
on the
fun,
mark.
but,
Oh, I
know,
needed a 10 and I rolled a
it's-
64.
It's getting to be, kind of late, getting close to dinner time, so I think we should probably head downstairs.
God,
What do you
Give a
say?
navigate roll.
I'm going to use my spot hidden to sneak past.
So she slips
that
up
over
next to you. She slips up next to you, and you feel a small, willowy arms encircle your waist and essentially guide you back towards the stairs. And as you look into her deep blue eyes, you feel yourself and your will melting slightly, and you're halfway down the stairs before you even realize it.
Oh.
And she's like, so what was it like on the battlefield?
Just then Samantha calls.
I got this great new tentacle arm. You want to come back and try?
Spoilers.
Let's just say it's not something that I really want to have to deal with again. They put you through training. They tell you all these things about how you're going to see things and hear things, but that first day you go out there and you're walking around and all of a sudden some kid walks around the corner with explosives strapped to him.
Bang, bang, he shot me down. Bang, bang, I hit the ground.
Great, now I have to come up with a song that has one of those words in it.
Bang a gong, get it on, bang a gong.
He has to come up with it.
Oh, shit, sorry. But she does actually sing that song under her breath as she ushers you back down the stairs and out to the front porch. And it's almost like you don't even remember walking.
Suddenly you're transported into a Mark Bolan music video.
I don't know who that is.
It's the guy that sings the song.
What's a music video?
Bang, bang. Actually, it was Nancy Sinatra, but...
Bang a Gong?
Oh, Bang a Gong? That's
Yeah.
Powerhouse, Power Station.
It was T-Rex, wasn't it?
T-Rex, yeah, Power Station.
Yeah, that's
off
Mark
on a
Bolan.
tangent.
Welcome to Lovecraft Tapes Discusses
Yeah,
Music
T-Rex is the
Podcast.
original, and Power Station was the remake.
Mark Bolan's T-Rex.
Is he really?
Question
That's the dude?
everything.
Yeah.
Nice. I did not know that.
So, Brian, you want to go play some Battlefront 2 while these guys...
Sure.
Fuck you guys. All right,
My
Jack.
recommendo, T-Rex.
I think you mean Mark Bolan.
Yeah, Mark Bolan and T-Rex.
All right. So, Jack, you escort Lauren to the edge of the woods, straight to where you left the tarp.
Yep.
It's missing.
Oh, shocker.
No, this is a shocker. That's a spocker.
This is the
Oh,
shocker.
Well, this is
Doing the ping
very
pongs.
unsettling. I think we should get back and call the police department as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think we should. I'd feel way more comfortable if you and your friend were waiting in the car when the chief got back.
Don't you know that burning excessive gasoline is bad for the environment? I mean, we're already heating the globe up enough as it is. We don't really need any excess.
Matt, you're not here.
Yes, but I just posted that on. I just posted it on Facebook and tagged you in the post.
Oh, okay, good. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'm going to make my report. I don't really care if you believe me or not. I have photographic proof on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just going to leave it up to you and your local law enforcement at this point. And I hope to hell nobody gets hurt.
That sounds like a good plan. I appreciate that.
Care about any of your people. Just about opening on time and making money. And I'm just going to walk away. I'm not even listening to her. Walking away.
You hear her sort of give an exasperated gasp, and then she slowly comes after you, back towards.
She comes after me. I pull out my gun.
She's floating like 3 inches above the ground.
Nice. She's got her hands. Oh.
I have good firearm skills, so she better watch out.
She better not
cry. She starts screaming, "Dead by dawn!"
Better not pout. I'm telling you why. Oh.
So you head back to the house at about the same time that Dan is escorted out onto the front porch. And Jack, you see what appears to be in the deepening gloom a little red devil.
Corvette.
A little red Corvette. Pull up. No, a little red devil.
On your shoulder.
Essentially deliver Dan to the front porch and then disappear back inside. And Dan is just standing on the front porch looking into the distance when you and Lauren come back and walk up the steps. And Dan doesn't even move or react to you standing next to him.
I'm going to put my arm around him. Kind of just pull him towards me and walk him down the steps.
As soon as you touch him, he blinks and then looks at you, recognizing you instantly.
Danny, don't say anything. Just walk with me.
Okay.
Walk down. I said shut up.
Okay.
Shut your fucking bile.
I'll kill you, boy. All right, so I'm going to walk him down the stairs, walk over toward... We have our car with it, right?
Yep.
It's been so long. I don't even remember if we drove. Walk over the car.
You guys have the car now.
Danny, something very strange is going on here. I just saw some creature walk you out onto the front porch and disappear back into the house. Every person is acting strange here.
No, that was Eva.
Danny,
she was what?
Danny.
What?
It was not Eva. I saw her plain as day. I saw it plain as day.
You saw a clown at the red balloon.
Yep. Pennywise was right there.
Oh, well, that explains.
Said, beep, beep, Danny.
Beep, beep. Is this before or after the orgy scene? I can't remember.
Why don't you head on over the passenger seat? Oh, shit. I just heard somebody scream from about 5 miles away. Shotgun.
What? Damn it.
Get in the back. No.
Okay.
Just get in the car. We're gonna go back and regroup and see if we can meet up with Roy. We need to come at this at a different angle. Something serious is going on here, and I think they're all involved. There may be other lives at risk.
Try vertical.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
All right, so Dan and Jack get back into the car and slowly pull away from the Angerstein house.
And we both put our hands out each side of the window, say, "We'll be right back," and wave them as we go.
Nice. So what is your plan
holy
after you leave
water
the house?
Well, I'm going to try to...
A few hours.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try my phone and see if I can call Roy.
You get a voicemail?
Okay.
You can
Tell
leave a
me
message
this at
if
the
you like.
diner. I'm hungry.
Roy, the jackass next to me is hungry, but we're having some major issues here at this house. We really need your help and your expertise. Please give me a call back as soon as you can, and let me know if you've heard anything back from Skinner. We're going to have a lot of pushback, and I think a lot of people are involved with more than we think.
Now imagine if I went with them. How smoothly this whole operation would have gone down.
Instead, you had to go on and get yourself thrown up in all the jail.
Instead, he had to beat
Thrown
up a passed out guy. Shoot
We'd have
somebody.
we would have a few episodes to just relax if I had solved this for you guys.
Nice. All right. So you head to the diner and get some dinner.
Yep.
No response back from Roy.
Okay.
And what's your plan for the evening? Darkness is upon you.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Friend.
Danny, why don't we do a drive by the police station and see if the sheriff's in? I got to put in a report for those Molotov cocktails that I saw.
I mean, they're already kind of pissed at us. Do you really want to do a drive-by on the police station?
Well, it's the only way to get their attention. We got to do something. Grab the Uzis. I'll grab the shotguns. Oh,
Yeah,
shit. No, that's Roy's. He's got that.
Nice. All right.
We got to let him know about Brad so he doesn't do anything. It could be tonight if he's planning something. I don't know.
I mean, how many days is what? Like 2 days until it opens?
2 days till they open.
Yep. The funeral's tomorrow morning, and then it opens up Tuesday night.
All right, let's do a drive by the police station and see if the sheriff is in.
Okay.
Okay. You swing on by the police station, and you do see a patrol car, but not the chief's car, sitting in the parking lot. And
Is it Officer Martinez's? Do we recognize the?
No, the regular patrol cars are are all the same.
Same mark.
Yeah, but you go inside, and sure enough, it's Steve Ellis sitting there, along with your good friend and mine, Cynthia Furman. And as soon as you walk in, she's sitting at the front desk, all in her little scooter, and she looks you up and down, and she's like, "How you doing?
Good. How you doing, ma'am?
You FBI agent." You fine looking, man.
What's the word on the street, ma'am?
Oh, the word is it's hot and moist.
And damp and itchy.
It's very scratchy.
Please, that muffin hasn't had a cherry since 1946.
And she takes a long, deep puff from her cigarette. She's like, "What can I do for you?"
Oh, shit. We were just looking for the sheriff.
Oh, I'm sure he's home eating some dinner.
Well, I got a little bit of a report to make.
Well, you can make it with me. Fill out this form, and she slaps it on the counter.
Mm-hmm.
Put that away. We're looking for the report form.
All right, I give it
that low.
What you boys up to tonight?
I just finished dinner.
Dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight.
I had that country fried steak.
Oh, God. That's the best.
It was so nice. Did you get dinner?
I had a couple dinners. I'm just looking for some dessert, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I do. Danny, why don't you entertain this lady while I fill out this paperwork?
Hello, Danny.
I've been thinking we really missed out on a chance when we didn't call jet skis boatercycles.
You a smart boy. I like smart boys.
Thanks. But I really did do well in grade school. That's why I went into the army.
So would you say you're a Tipperillo or a Cuban? Don't take too long, or do.
Well, everybody loves a good Cuban.
You got that paperwork all done there, Mr. FBI agent?
You didn't want to talk about Mark Cuban?
I love me some Mark
No,
Cuban.
no, we're not talking about T-Rex, Brian.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it right here for you.
All right, I'll make sure the chef gets in the morning.
All righty. Just this as a little warning.
Yeah.
I believe they said his name was Brad Cola.
Bradley Cole, I know that boy is a troublemaking faggot.
I think we may have some troubles.
He's a
First
bundle
off,
of
with your
sticks?
education, and second, he
I don't
had
need none of your liberal leanings now, boy, you the snowflake.
ma'am, he had about 30 Molotov cocktails just on the outskirts of that haunted house they making.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do nothing with that.
All right, sounds good. I guess everybody likes to kill everybody here. Have a good night. You ready, Danny?
You boys have a good night. And,
I say we just solve the case now and just go back home.
I get off by 11 if you're interested.
I don't think you've ever gotten off that chair.
Well, I'd like to see you try.
You know, if we let people have tigers for pets, we would simultaneously solve the tiger population problem and the human population problem.
That's true. I think
are you
Danny's
just reading
finally lost it with
Futurama
all those
jokes?
cuts on his face. Oh, I did have one more question for you.
Yeah.
Have you seen our colleague Roy this evening?
Well, I don't ring no bells. Who was that?
Older FBI agent.
Yeah,
Was he
the one
around
that
here?
thought
Who are
you
you
were
Remember
calling
that shoe?
older?
the one that thought you were pretty.
Ooh, that boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking about him right now.
All
Where
right.
is he at? Is he with you guys?
I'm not sure. He hasn't answered his phones, and that's just not like him.
I see. Well, if you see him down there at the diner, you tell him I said hello.
All right, I sure will.
I'm off at 11.
Don't go putting hitchhikers in the backyard up to their necks anymore, okay?
Oh, shit.
Making that jerky.
Is Steve still at the front desk, or is it?
No,
Just her.
that's her. And Steve
her
is
job,
actually doing some paperwork off in the office. You can see him in a closed office.
Okay.
All right. Well, you boys have a good evening. And then the phone starts ringing. She grabs it. So you say you got a cat up a tree. I think I know the number for a private detective who might be able to help you out.
Let's get out of here before she notices we're gone.
All right, we're gonna leave, I guess.
Cool. Where are you guys headed to?
Ah, who the hell cares?
All right. Good enough.
Nothing leads anywhere anyway. Who cares?
That much is true.
I'm gonna go try to adapt some screen doors to our car.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Nice air breeze
So,
through the wind.
but for realsies, what's your plan for the rest of the evening?
It's probably what 9 o'clock ish.
Yeah, it's good to be there. Yeah.
All right, Danny, let's go back and put a plan together for tomorrow. See if Roy's at his room.
Yeah, he's old. Maybe he fell asleep trying to take a
I
nap
could
again.
Imagine. I could imagine that.
All right, you guys
Trying
head
to
back to the
take a
screen
nap
door
tired
in.
me out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys head back to the screen door in, and we'll cut back to Roy. Roy, darkness has descended in the cell.
Man, it's dark.
There's a bare, disgusting, yellow, sickening light coming from the bare bulb in a wire cage in the top of your cell, and also from the sickly, fluorescent illumination in the hallway, just illuminating the pockmarked cinder blocks in the hall. And eventually, Steve Ellis comes in to the hallway with a tray of food, which he slides up underneath the cell door. There's a little slot there for you. And he says, you doing okay, Agent? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were sleeping.
What? What?
I got some food here for you. It's dinner time. Hope you don't mind.
Well.
It's some good stuff. It's we put it together down the taco stand just down the way. Hope you like
I
tacos.
like a taco.
And yeah, Cynthia would have brought it to you, but she's a little indisposed right now. She's in the bathroom.
All right, Steve.
That's where we got your dinner.
Yep.
You're probably the only sensible guy around here.
I'm also
And
sensual.
The only sensual guy around here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sensual. Yeah, sure.
You got a brain in your head. You know what you're talking about.
If I only had a brain.
He starts dancing.
He brought you fish tacos for dinner, Roy.
Well, that's they all say that. I mean, my mom says that.
How about you explain to me
Yeah.
what's exactly wrong about taking out that dirtbag Mitchell Andrum?
Ooh, well, technically the way he is now, I guess I would tend to agree, but the chief has other ideas. They were friends back in the day, so that's a little
Am I
tough
not
to
doing
get
this
over.
town a favor?
I can't say for sure, but the chief runs things, and he can be kind of a mean guy when he wants to be. And
I mean, he minimum should be in here with me.
I don't know all about that. I mean, he can be a good guy too. He's got our best interests at heart.
In the rare occasions he's not drunk out of his mind, maybe.
Mitch or the chief?
Mitch.
Yes.
Oh, well, Mitch has he doesn't have our best interests in mind at all. He's just, I mean, his daughter died, so what are you going to do? I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, he's kind of an asshole, but I don't believe he touched Kelly at all. I don't think that's true.
Whoa.
What?
These tacos are good, man.
Right. Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, it's that there's tongue.
All right, now what about the touching? I never heard this.
But no, it's just rumors. I mean, that
Hey,
everybody's saying.
rumors are fun
But,
and
true.
often insightful of the truth.
Sharing
Well,
is caring.
It's true. I mean, okay, so a couple people said that Mitch molested Kelly, but there was never any, no
Seems
proof,
pretty
no proof.
convenient that these rumors are going around the same time she dies.
I don't know. Mitch has had a rough go of it since he came back to town, and after the war and all, but I don't know. He just, he and Chief were army buddies, and then they came back to town, and I was a little kid back then, but even then I could see that they were palling around, and Mitch actually worked for the police department back then, and then just something happened, and he couldn't handle the stress of the memories of the war, and he kind of went on drinking binges, and he got caught up with the wrong crowd, and basically, Kelly did the same thing, started taking drugs, drinking too much. Just a sad story, really. And then, on top of everything else, because Mitch was, drinking up a storm and beating his wife, and, I mean, that happens around here.
Jeez. So
And-
it's
Look,
okay.
bud,
Yeah,
you seem like
it's Texas.
you want this town to be cleaned up.
I don't condone it, but people around here, they like to grab pussies. You know what I'm saying?
You seem like the kind of guy that would be the right kind of chief this town needs.
What? Well, no. Why do you say that?
Because you're clean, man. You're on an even slate with everybody. You don't let the biases get in the way.
Well,
You said it yourself. The chief and Mitch are old friends, so he's letting them excuse all that behavior.
I do my best. I follow God.
Hey, and if that works, and then that's working for you, you're doing the right thing.
Well, I appreciate that, Mr. FBI agent. It's nice
All right,
of you to
man.
say. I mean, you don't even know us, but it's nice of you to say. I appreciate it.
We open this,
mean,
I'd give you a
I've
hug.
been-
Open up this prison.
I've been around a lot of these little towns in my FBI work.
Oh, really?
A lot of the time, the big man on campus is pretty corrupt. It's just
Oh.
good to see that He's got his underlings that got some heart to them.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, man. You know what? I'll tell you what. My wife, she makes a real good pecan pie. I'm gonna bring you a slice from. She gave me 2 slices for dinner tonight. I'm gonna give you a slice.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll be right back. And he heads out.
I'll be right back.
Heads out back into the station proper, and you're looking down at the tin tray of what appears to be 2 non-double wrapped tacos, which is a crime against nature.
Those monsters.
Fuckers. But the pico de gallo does look pretty nice, and there's a little bit of rice there, a little bit of dirty rice on the side, and 2 slices of avocado that do look quite fresh. So that's actually kind of appealing. There's a little bit of water and a little carton of milk.
Cool. I'll eat them while I'm waiting.
As you pick up the tray, you hear behind you, "Psst. Hey, you." What the fuck?
I'll keep eating.
Hey, aren't you the FBI guy?
I'm not sharing my food.
Well, that's what I would expect from a Nazi.
Okay, I don't care. What? What do you want?
What are you doing here? You just like, are you Chief Weaver's little monkey?
Yeah, that's why I'm in jail, and I was just crap talking him to his underlings. That's it.
Well, you know what I think of Nazis?
I don't care.
I like to punch them in the face.
Oh wow, that's illegal.
But more importantly, I like to see them burn.
These are the correct ideals you should have.
I'm glad you think
Turns
so.
out it was the dead rat all along.
And you hear a flick of a lighter behind you as you're eating a taco.
Okay.
And then a shatter of glass on the floor right behind you.
Get on my knees, say a prayer.
And kiss your ass goodbye.
Suddenly, your cell is engulfed in flames as the Molotov cocktail explodes around you. I'm going to need you to make a series of rolls.
Oh boy.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Did you say you were going to miss Roy?
You're going to have to play somebody nice and pleasant.
Round 1.
That's not true. I don't have to do that.
Let's go ahead and make a luck roll as you attempt to avoid the flames that are basically engulfing.
Wow, can I push luck on a luck roll?
I want to spend 4 points of luck to fix my luck roll.
What was your first roll?
I need a 21, I got a 26.
That's a fail, and you will take... I'll go ahead and roll it for
27
you.
points of damage.
5 points of damage. As the flames lick along your clothing and body. So go ahead and mark that on your character sheet. What are you down to?
Where do I mark that? I've never taken damage.
Just under where your name and information is.
Yeah, under
HP.
the big box at the top left that says a name, player, occupation, age, residence, birthplace. Below that it says hit points.
Okay. Do I just subtract it or add it?
You would subtract it.
No, you add it.
If it's hit points that I'm taking, I don't know. Every game's different.
So what does that bring you down to?
6.
Oh, shit. Okay, this could be real here. Next round. Luck roll, please.
Oh, yeah, you're
boy.
fucked.
I needed a 21. I got a 61.
All right, let's roll another d6. 2 more points of flames.
All right, Pete Roy.
Boy, This is
He's
good.
partying with Hugh
That takes you
Hefner
down
now.
to 4, is that correct?
Yeah.
And I would say it's safe to assume that you're maybe screaming at this point.
Yeah. I would have probably done that from the beginning.
He's just calmly sitting on the bed, continuing to eat the taco. Nope, don't care.
All right, and then the final round, you hear Steve Ellis racing back into the cell block, and I'll need you to make one final roll.
Bye-bye.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
shit.
And now he can't spend luck to get that down, right?
Nope.
Shit, son.
I needed a 21. I got a 22.
Now you could push the roll, right?
No?
Ooh, with luck, I don't. Ooh, that's
I
a
don't
great
know.
question. That's
On
a
luck.
great question.
That's a great
That's
Ouch,
Google.
Thomas, what do you
important.
think? Are you allowed to push a luck roll? I don't think you
Let's
can.
do a Google.
I don't think you
search.
can either, but
I don't think
it'd
you
be
can.
interesting if you could.
I don't.
You
think
should let
can.
me.
Oh.
Well, if you lose the push,
Oh, it's an automatic terrible fail. Yeah, you're right.
your automatic terrible fail, which means you will die. This chance of him rolling means you might lose 3 of your 4 points and still be alive.
I think pushed rolls can only be for skill sets.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. You're right. I think we covered that.
Yeah, I think we did as
Yeah.
well.
Sorry, I was just trying to play devil's advocate.
No,
and get
that was a
something
good
going.
question,
Okay.
and yeah, I honestly couldn't remember offhand, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. I'm waiting to see if Thomas rules in with something he found, but I think that's actually the truth. So
Yeah.
okay, so here comes the final roll for Roy's damage from
Can't even
flames.
look.
2 points. Holy fuck.
I'm dying the next combat we have.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, but I mean, the bottom line is you're going to need a little bit of
Ooh,
house.
I have
hospital
50
time.
points in first aid.
That's right.
I have 50 points in first aid. I just want to put that out.
Well, but first aid doesn't heal everything,
No.
so it's going to be rough going for poor Roy here.
I just wanted people to know that I have 50 points in first aid. That is all.
Fuck Roy. All right, so Steve unlocks your cell just as the flames are catching onto the mattress and really becoming hot, and he drags you out into the hallway and pats you out until all the flames go out. But by then you've taken considerable damage. I mean, that's actually quite a lot of damage. That was 9 points, wasn't it? Yeah, 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 points total. So you are a crispy critter at this point, and you can hear Steve Ellis as your consciousness wanes. He's calling out to Cynthia to call Dr. Cronenborg.
Do you still want the pie?
And
I'm just going to eat this for you, okay?
Roy, unfortunately, there is another aspect to this. You failed
Yay.
all 3 rolls. I'm going to need you to make a sanity roll.
Yeah.
Who cares at this point? What else could go wrong?
Oh,
I needed a 68. I got an 87.
Okay. So here is the sanity damage that you take. 4 points of sanity damage. Thankfully, that is below your percentage to make you creep towards permanent insanity or long-term insanity. However, just as you feel your consciousness wane, you're convinced that your hair is still on fire. And you begin screaming uncontrollably. Put it out! Put it out! Sorry. Reading Thomas's thing. And I guess that we should call it there, actually. Let's call it
Okay.
there.
Whew.
That's pretty intense, so let's call it
I
there.
found the issue with tonight's episode.
Mm-hmm.
the shoot her roll, stop Roy from shooting her roll. Actually, it doesn't matter, Roy. You're in jail roll. Those used up all of your fucking successes, boys.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
them.
Too many rolls.
Look at all
If
those
I cannot-
successes,
Look,
except for your real rolls, which you failed all of them.
Those successes were out of 100 points.
Yeah.
They would have been successes no matter what I rolled.
It's half and half, green or red. You used all your green up.
I don't care.
Oh,
It's
boy.
worth it.
I don't care. I'm on fire and insane.
How do I take off sanity points? Do I just remove them from
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
there's
one?
Yeah, it's the current sanity, I think. Right?
Yeah, the one that has the 2 dice icon next to it that you click to roll
Okay.
is the one you remove it from.
All right. I hate life anyway, so.
Yep. So yeah.
So you're ready to make a new character.
I did.
64, yep.
Nice and polite and happy.
He's not going to be that. You know this.
Yeah, this could be very interesting. So, okay, so we'll reconvene and try to decide what should happen. But I mean, you have 2 hit points, but you're more or less out of commission. So we may need to have you play a at least temporarily an NPC of some sort. So that should be
What city in Texas are we
I
in?
vote he has to play Cynthia.
Leland.
I say that he
probably
has to play Cynthia.
No, it has to be somebody more mobile. So he could actually be Aaron Martinez, which would.
I have a secondary character.
Yeah, but you can't introduce a
be
character into a
interjected.
story.
Yeah, it can't be just suddenly introduced. It needs to
Dumb.
be somebody who's active in it. And I think Aaron Martinez actually makes the most sense, honestly.
And I have to be nice.
Any disagreements with that, guys?
No, I'm okay with that.
Or do you recognize another character that makes more sense?
Martinez hasn't played hardly any role in this. I think that's a good pick.
Yeah, I did too. It sort of makes a lot of sense. So
Can I be Kid Canada?
Turbo Kid.
You can
Or
be
you can play the
T-Rex.
doctor, but you like playing the doctor.
The doctor. Well, no, it's not that. It's the doctor is not really very active.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I think
Can I
Martinez
just-
could be good because he's already
Can I
on
just-
our side.
Yeah.
Can I just be Roy in the hospital bed for a whole episode screaming?
So boring. It was kind of boring having you just be in the jail cell until right now.
It was, yeah. we need that energy that you put into a character, Gabe.
Then, put me in a wheelchair and have me follow.
Oh shit! Like Hannibal.
Yeah.
All right. Let's decompress here for a minute. We'll pick that up next time, and let's go ahead and launch into our recommendos for this week. And let's start with Gabe because he's almost dead.
I'm sad. I'm just sad. Fine. It's White Gold. It's a Netflix special.
He's so sad.
It's about salesmen in Britain in the 80s. Really dirty salesmen. It's pretty it's funny, but also it's got it's angry humor, which I'm obviously a fan of. And then it's got 2 of the guys from the In-Betweeners in it, if you've ever seen that. It's got Jay and Simon from that show.
Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, Jay and Silent Bob
Sorry.
from the In-Betweeners. And it kind of just feels like a older version of them. The whole show feels like the In-Betweeners. And so if you're a fan of that, you'll like this. But it's really well written. Its narration tools are unique, at least the things I've seen. I'm a big fan of it. So that's White Gold on Netflix.
Cool. Very sweet. All right, I'm going to go next because I've had 33 ounces of Call of Cthulhu, and I'm starting to feel it. And I'm going to recommend Sweet, Sweet Lonely Girl from 2017, directed by A.D. Calvo. It's a low-budget, faux 70s, sort of creepy movie about a young lady who is unhappy at home and maybe being molested by her stepdad, who desperately wants to get out of the house and has an opportunity to go care for her aunt. And so she leaps at the opportunity, but she finds out that her aunt is quite the recluse and stays in her room most of the time, doesn't want much to do with her niece, and is maybe a little too cold and uncommunicative. And so the young lady essentially starts to fantasize about what her aunt really has done in this house. She goes out and meets friends, namely one sort of lesbian, interesting lady who appears to be like her alter ego, who is much more adventurous and brash, and she latches onto her and then begins to steal from her aunt in an effort to maintain her friendship with the maybe not so good friend. All of a sudden, there might be ulterior motives. So without spoiling any of the plot, it does play upon some familiar tropes. We've all seen that movie where there's a young lady who is trying to discover this mystery, but then also has an opportunity to do something else. If you've seen The Sentinel or Lords of Salem or House of the Devil, those all have those same elements in it. But this one it's kind of fun. It's almost laughable in some parts because they're really trying to exude that 70s charm, but they kind of overplay it slightly. There is one awesome scene where the young lady is walking up a street and she's dressed up as if she's in some 70s movie, and behind her is this woman who is arguing with her pimp, who's dressed out in the big hat and the purple coat, and they're walking by a VW Bug and then this old 70s car, but clearly it's still like 2017. But I appreciate what they tried to do, and it does sort of like harken back to some of the movies that were before the slasher film, but have the same sort of gritty vibe. And essentially, what she ends up doing is quite a lot similar to what I had already mentioned to you guys, the Mario Bava's A Drop of Water back in the day. But it's quite an interesting movie, and if you like that sort of 70s, 80s slasher vibe, like House of the Devil, it'd be worth seeking out. So 3 stars might be generous, but 2.5 seems a little too mean out of 4 stars. So I'm going around 3 stars.
Yay.
Yeah. Sweet, sweet, lonely girl. Check it out. All right. Let's go to Brian.
Oh, Bjorn. Yeah,
Bjorn.
who's supposed to talk about my special today?
Brian.
I am going to recommend Big Mouth on Netflix, another Netflix original series. I started watching it Tuesday, I think. So a couple days ago. I watched the first episode and I was like, man, they're trying too hard. I'm not going to watch this. I made myself watch the second and third episode, and now I'm on the 5th episode. You can tell that the first one's the pilot because they're trying to jam everything in, no pun intended. It's about preteen coming of age, and it's very graphic. The language is there. It's the horrors and the pleasures of becoming a sexual being, basically, and what these poor middle school kids go through when they discover that they are changing into something they know nothing about. Very funny, huge star-studded cast. You've got Nick Kroll, you've got Maya Rudolph, Jordan Peele, Fred Armisen. So tons and tons of voices in this. It's really well done. Get past the first episode, and you definitely fall into the characters, the development. It's really well done. It's funny.
Cool.
Highly recommend it.
We'll check that out. I did watch. What is it, Gabe? Hello?
White Gold.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed that. That was a ton of fun. Nick Kroll is pretty amazing. So.
Yeah. Yeah, he's one of the creators for Big Mouth.
Nice. Yeah, he's very smart. All right, Matthew, what you got for us, buddy?
Well, with the sequel fast approaching, I figured that it's time for people to learn about a game called Hand of Fate. It is an action RPG roguelike with a really unique tabletop card based deck building kind of aspect to it. What it is it's you come to find yourself past all 13 gates at the end of the world in a room with a man known as the Keeper. And you are there to play what he calls the game of life and death. And what it is it's you go through and you get to build a deck of cards that contain, enemies and encounters and items for you to use. And then all those things get mixed up, and every single time you play, it's different based on the deck you build. And your goal is to kind of work your way up the ladder of an ever more increasing difficult set of enemies.
Okay, so pretty much a deck building game, and yeah, so Magic: The Gathering is what I'm hearing.
No.
Or that weirdo app that you play, Brian, with weird superheroes, dark superheroes, whatever it is.
Oh yeah. Where it's I don't play it anymore, but that's cool.
Yeah, that one.
I moved on.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
He plays a different mobile game like every 3 days, so it's really
that's true.
I stick with one until I extinguish every option without having to buy something. Then I move on.
Then you're done. All right.
Then I'm done.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Lovecraft Tapes. Thank you for listening, particularly you, Thomas Douglas, and your blow-up Hillary Clinton doll. Oh, yeah. We know what you like.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take
Pictures
6.
or it didn't happen.
Grab that plastic pussy. It's a running joke. Come on.
This is a family show, Jeremy. A family show.
Whatever. Thank you for listening. Only 3 inches? That's
funny.
Interesting. Please subscribe on iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, or anywhere you download your regular podcasts. If you like what you hear, please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you don't like what you hear, please send email to Matt at... Meanwhile, you can find us at thelovecrafttapes.com with links to all our social media, including Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, and our wiki. Not really, though. The wiki's... Fuck it.
No, not really.
Links to our recommendos can be found on our website. You can find me on Twitter at Lovecraft Tapes.
And if anyone can tell me just where in the details I can find the devil, hit me up on Twitter at The Real Weird Kid.
And if you want to discuss Mark Bolan, you can find me at Lovecraft Gabe.
And if you can tell me how to get any of these damn NPCs to cooperate in any way at all, please hit me up on Brian Podcast on Twitter.
Here's a hint. Willfully use your psychology roll. Until next time.
Oh, I'm going to roll for psychology.
For sanity.
I believe
roll
you mean
for
roll
salad.
for psychology.
Roll for salad tossing. Oh.
All right. Thanks for watching, Tom. We appreciate it.
Bye, Tom.
Yeah, I think I tried the whole roll for salad tossing thing back in the last chapter.
Yeah, but that was different.
Oh, you have a point.
You didn't bathe.
All right.